Welcome to our presentation about financial aid for international students in the USA. Thanks for tuning in. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Now, according to the Institute of International Education, the United States is the top destination for international students around the world. It can also be one of the most expensive, considering that international students will need to pay for their tuition, room and board, transportation, books, and supplies, and students may not have all that money on hand. If you're like many international students interested in studying in the USA, or if you're already here, you may be wondering how you can afford all of these expenses. Well, it's not going to be easy, but with some hard work and financial aid, you can make this dream a reality. Let's take a look at some of the best sources of funding for your studies. Financial aid from the U.S. government. Don't forget to check to see if you are eligible for U.S. government aid. The U.S. government is limited in the financial support it gives international students, but even though most foreign citizens are not eligible for federal aid, the U.S. Department of Education states that many non-U.S. citizens qualify for federal student aid. Don't assume you can't get aid just because you're not a citizen. There are some instances in which non-citizens may be eligible for financial aid from the U.S. federal government. If you're on an international student visa, you may be eligible for these U.S. government-funded programs: Fulbright and Education USA. As I've said, if you're an international student, it's unlikely you're eligible for financial aid from the U.S. government. But don't lose hope, there are a number of other alternatives that can help you fund your education. Like financial aid from your home country. It's always a good idea to start looking at home. There's no question that if you've been an outstanding student, your own country may be so proud that they're willing to send you to an American college or university. After all, many countries send their best and brightest abroad so they can apply their newly gained skills back home. Here are some examples. The King Abdullah Scholarship Program. A generous scholarship for Saudi students that covers the total university cost along with material fees and provides full medical and dental insurance, a monthly stipend, and coverage for airfare each year. The Brazil Scientific Mobility Undergraduate Program. This scholarship is designed for Brazilian students to study at U.S. colleges and universities in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics (STEM) for 1 year. The Kuwait Cultural Office Merit Scholarship. A scholarship designed for Kuwaitis studying at specific U.S. colleges and universities to promote the needs and interests of the Kuwaiti government. You should talk to your home country's Ministry or Department of Education, as well as your embassy and consulate in the U.S. and back home to see if there are government-backed scholarships available. U.S. universities and colleges. Universities are generally more flexible when it comes to offering financial aid for international students in the USA. You can typically find information for financial aid on your school's website either with your admissions office or International Student Services office. Here you can find information on budgeting, the cost of your education, and financial aid that can help you navigate the ins and outs of affording your education. Financial aid through the admissions office. Most colleges have either need-based or merit-based financial aid packages, and this can come in many forms. For example, some schools have instituted need-blind admission policies, where you are accepted based on your merits and they don't look at your financials. It's important to talk with your admissions office to see what financial aid you're eligible for. There may be additional applications and due dates to be aware of, so be sure to ask. Warning: beware of scammers. Please do not fall victim to scammers. Make sure whichever school you apply to it is a legitimate and accredited institution. In 2011, Tri-Valley University in Pleasanton, California was shut down by a federal court order for being a fake university. It promised to sponsor Indian students and get them student visas or work permits. Instead, The owner used their money to buy herself a nice house and a Mercedes. The students were cheated out of their tuition and their dreams of studying in the US. So do your research first. Check on the internet and make sure they are an accredited school. Talk with your school counselors and be careful that the school is well known. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, watch out. Don't be fooled into thinking that this only happened in the distant past. As recently as 2018, Silicon Valley University was shut down with reports stating that the purpose of the university was to get around immigration laws. The consensus amongst reputable admissions counselors is that schools vary widely when it comes to international financial aid offered to students. If the school is well endowed, looking to diversify its student population, or has special interests, it might be willing to offer their international students a more generous financial aid package. What about financial aid through the athletic department? A number of international students get full scholarships through their university or college to participate on their school sports teams. Whether you're an excellent rugby player, tear up the field at track and field, or have a talent for another sport, this might be your ticket to a U.S. school. There are a number of agencies that travel the world looking for students who have excelled in their sport, and will match you with a coach recruiting for their school. The coach will have the final say as to whether you get selected and whether there's a financial package to go along with that. Financial aid through an academic department. Many schools are looking to build up a specific academic department and have the funds to do so. Whether you excel in mathematics, business, or physics, there may be a scholarship with your name on it. You'll need to contact the head of the department to see if they would be willing to help support you. Often, these scholarships are available in the STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These departments are looking to put forth new research and expertise, so you'll need to show your track record and that you're worth the investment. Tuition waivers. A tuition waiver allows students to not pay a portion or all of their tuition. While not all schools grant a tuition waiver for international students, there are a handful that do. The school will specify what requirements need to be met in order to be granted a tuition waiver. It can be based on citizenship, academic performance, or part of a fellowship or grant. Do your research, look on the school's website, and talk to your admissions counselor or an international student advisor to get more information on eligibility. Private scholarships, grants, and fellowships. Many organizations around the world offer scholarships and grants to help students study abroad. While these awards can be competitive, they can offer free money to students without the obligation of having to pay it back. There are thousands of scholarships and grants out there, but keep in mind that it's important to put the time and effort into each application to increase the likelihood of winning the award. Keep track of due dates, have your application reviewed by someone like a teacher or guidance counselor, and submit as many as you can. You can search international scholarships and grants on IEFA.org or internationalscholarships.com. Optional Practical Training, OPT, and Curricular Practical Training, CPT. Working in the U.S. to supplement your financial aid is difficult and somewhat limited for international students. F1 students are allowed to work part-time on campus if they are in good academic standing or once they've completed their academic program. In order to get approval for OPT or CPT, your work must be directly related to your major. Be sure to check with your international student advisor to see whether you can work during your studies. International financial aid from world organizations. If you're pursuing higher degrees, some international organizations may be able to help you study in the U.S., including the United Nations and the World Health Organization, to name a few. These scholarships are extremely competitive, but can be an amazing opportunity if you have the qualifications and skills to get one. And finally, international student loans. If you still need money, there are international student loans that can cover up to the total cost of your U.S. education, including your tuition, transportation, living and food expenses. As long as you attend an accredited school, there are a number of lenders that will work with international students. You can apply right online in most cases and get approval within days. Remember, international student loans allow you to borrow money, but you'll need to pay it back along with the cost of borrowing. Be sure to look over all the details and compare lenders to find the loan that's right for you. You can compare loans, find eligible schools and apply online at internationalstudentloan.com. And please do get in touch with us if you have any questions. Write in the comments below, or email info@iefa.org. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck.